powerful as it is. But if you created it, you have to be more powerful than it is.
Remember, positive beliefs allow you to feel light and free. It's negative beliefs that make you feel tired and heavy.
And again, we come back to the idea of the loophole that while you can lighten your load as you go, if for some reason you are holding on and holding on and holding on and holding on and getting tireder and tireder, more exhausted, and wondering why you have absolutely no joie de vivre, then the idea can be used as a turnaround to recognize that eventually, if you maintain any degree of desire to go in the positive direction, that you will one day become so sick and tired of being sick and tired that you will finally let all of that negativity go. Now, you don't have to do that. You don't have to wait that long. But at least you know that someday, if you're that sick and tired, you might finally be willing to let go of the thing that's actually making you sick and tired.
Here's an interesting one. Drop what your ego wants.
Yes. Know the difference between what you prefer and what your ego is telling you you want. Because more often than not, what the ego wants is what the negative ego is attempting to convince you of that you need, and to distract you from what really would serve you, what would really be representative of what you need, what would really be representative of your joy. It will convince you that you must want this and you must want that in order to be happy. And again, all it's doing in many cases is leading you down a primrose path.
Let go of all of your assumptions and go to zero.
Yes, and we will continue because this will culminate in the final one.
Which is, don't resist change, go with the flow.
And
remember the famous quote.
Pay attention.
It's not what you don't know that gets you into trouble. It's what you know that just isn't so.
Assumptions. Negative beliefs will convince you that you know what you're talking about when you don't. So always allow yourself to know that many different kinds of statements that may sound like facts may only be assumptions that are reinforced by negative beliefs to convince you that you know what you're talking about and that you know better than what someone else may be attempting to tell you that could help you. So you will become the ultimate authority. I know it all. You can't tell me anything new. But there's the trap. It's not so much that you get into trouble with what you don't know. It's what you know that just isn't so, because you've been convinced that it's true and it may not be. So always look for the things that come out of your mouth and pay attention to whether they are just assumptions or true statements of your being. Because negative beliefs will make assumptions appear to be facts, and they're nothing again but smoke and mirrors. Now again, these are just a few of the ideas, both negative and positive. It is up to your own imagination to provide whatever may work for you. But the more you allow yourself to look at this list and study this list, the more it will rub off on you the way in which negative beliefs work. You will start to really see behind the curtain, understand the illusions and the tricks, and then start to catch them in the act. And then realize how empowered you are. And then you can move in the direction that you prefer. Nania, did you wish to add anything to this?
I think just that if you find yourself getting stuck in a negative belief, remember to look at this list and work with these ideas.
Because you really are not stuck. That's just a negative belief idea. Thank you. In return for allowing us to share this idea with you, we now ask in what way may we be of continued service in our dialogues. Please continue with your questions if you have them.
Okay, thank you so much. That was absolutely wonderful. And if we could have the microphone brought over here and maybe about 5.
Permission slip that we gave you in our transmission last night of your time is also designed specifically to be a wonderful neutralizer. So use that as well, please, if you wish.
Hi, Bashar.
And to you, good day.
Good day, good day. Actually, you pretty much...
One moment. Shh. Continue.
Actually, you've pretty much blown my mind.
Oh,
In
is
the
it over
past-
there on the floor?
I'm not sure where.
Oh, all right. You'll find it eventually.
Okay.
It'll come wandering back.
Thank you. I wanted to let you know, physically, I'm doing so much better.
All right, thank
than
you.
the last time I spoke with you. My arm and nerve pain is pretty much gone.
All right, thank you.
Physically, right now, my issue is I'm always eating.
Yes.
I'm actually gaining weight,
All right.
and I'm gonna be 68.
All right.
And I thought when you got older, you kind of lost weight.
Please remember, as we have discussed with many people, is that when you start to expand your consciousness and you actually start to feel your energy getting lighter and lighter and lighter, a negative belief you may be unaware of is convincing you to eat more and more and more, or you'll float away. So in a sense, it's using the idea of your upliftment to create a counter effect of feeling or believing that you need to be more and more and more grounded and weighty so that you do not lift off the planet. So it's using the positive idea in a negative way. You understand?
I do.
When you allow yourself to let it be all right to feel that rise in energy, that lightness in energy, you will discover, if you explore deeply enough, what the negative belief is saying to you to create the anxiety that moving in that direction is going to do some harm to you or detach you from the earth in a way that you don't prefer to be detached, and you will allow yourself to see through what it is attempting to convince you to do in creating the anxiety by creating a discordant vibration that is contrary to the one you're feeling as upliftment.
Wow. Okay.
All right?
Thank you.
You are welcome. Please remember, use the list we have just provided and see what happens. All right?
Okay. And I wanted to ask you a question about
Yes.
ancient Egypt.
Ancient Egypt, yes.
Because I've been studying the philosophy, history,
Yes.
architecture.
All right. How exciting.
It's very exciting.
All right. So what about ancient
Did
Egypt?
they have extraterrestrial help?
Here and there, yes. Not necessarily in certain ways that some people on your planet assume, but yes, they had connections. But please also remember, they were also very adept at astral travel. And therefore, much of the information that they glean simply by having the ability to astral travel and connect with Source in a different way and bring that information back down to Earth. This is what the priesthood did. This is what the main pyramid at the Giza necropolis actually was capable of amplifying. If you will know that the stone coffer in the king's chamber was specifically designed in the right proportions, the right dimensions, the right ratios, and the right material so that when a priest got into the stone coffer and meditated and achieved the gamma frequency, the meditative frequency of 40 cycles per second, the stone coffer was built specifically to resonate and reflect and amplify and magnify that particular gamma frequency to the point where there was such a buildup of that energy that it actually aided and assisted the spirit to pop out of the body. Wow. So the Great Pyramid, in a sense, is an astral projection machine. And
Oh
thus
my
the priesthood
gosh.
used it to go wandering the universe and bring back information. Sometimes they encountered extraterrestrials and other dimensional beings on their travels. Sometimes those beings may have visited them in their culture physically on Earth, but a lot of the initial connections to those beings were made through astral travel. And a lot of the information was downloaded that way as well through the priesthood.
Wow. I was in that spot in the pyramid.
Yes.
Now I understand more.
All right. Well, thank you.
What about the Dogon?
The Dogon had visitation from beings from the star system of Sirius.
When?
When? Look up your history. I thought you were interested in history.
I am, but
Hundreds of years ago.
just hundreds, not
Well, hundreds and hundreds. All right, thousands.
okay. All right. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay. My grandson is here for the first time. And
Oh,
he's-
all right.
He's right behind me.
All right, well, congratulations.
Hello.
And to you, good day.
Good day to you too. I have a few.
Yes,
You can stop me when you want.
I will.
Should
Have
I-
no fear.
Should I ask them one by one or?
Well, yes, if you wish.
Okay. Well, my first is, what is time?
Time is a side effect of your consciousness shifting through billions of parallel realities per second to create the illusion of movement and change. Did that make sense?
Yes.
All right.
So that helps me with my other question. So there is such thing as a parallel universe.
There are many, many, many that are an infinite number. But the idea is that when we're talking about parallel realities, we're not just talking about a sequence of parallel realities. We mean that each and every parallel reality is just literally a frozen moment, a frozen snapshot, similar to a frame on a film strip with no movement, no change, no experience, nothing at all. It's a sequence of those frames, a sequence of parallel realities that creates the illusion of movement and change in a movie, and equally a sensation and a side effect of movement, change, and time in physical reality by your consciousness going through those frames billions of times per second like a projector light, creating the experience of space-time.
Okay.
Does that help?
Yes.
All right. The actual tick of the clock is what you call the Planck time. The tick
What is
is
that?
Yes, you understand?
No, you said a plankton?
Planck. Planck is the
okay,
name
okay.
of one of the scientists on your planet who first defined this minuscule measurement of time based on the speed of light crossing the Planck distance, which is 10 to the negative 43rd power. Small. Very, very, very small. That's the grain, in other words, of your reality. That's the tick of the clock of your reality of time. That's how fast you are shifting through these parallel realities, billions upon billions upon billions of times per second, because there are billions of Planck time units per second. Make sense?
A lot of sense.
All right. Next.
Are we the dominant form of life, humans?
Where? On your planet?
Yes.
No.
What is?
Bacteria.
What about in a universe?
There are many, many, many different kinds of species throughout the universe. Humans occupy a fraction, and humanoids occupy a fraction of all the species we have encountered, but there are many that are nothing like you at all. Now, it depends on how you look at this, because again, if you understand that there are parallel realities and that parallel realities are infinite, then there may be different realities, different universes in which the human form is dominant. So you could look at it from that perspective and say, well, yes, in that universe, the human form is dominant. But since it is infinite, there are any number of universes where there are different forms of dominant life. And also, of course, it depends on what you mean by dominant, because that can have different meanings in your language.
You're right. Okay, I have one last one.
Yes.
How can I truly be alive?
What do you mean truly? You mean live to your fullest potential?
Yes.
By acting on your highest excitement every moment that you can. At any given moment, a number of options are available to you of things that you could possibly act on. All you have to do is keep choosing the one that contains more excitement, more passion than any other. Act on it to the best of your ability, taking it as far as you can, till you can take it no further, with absolutely zero insistence on exactly how the outcome should happen. That's the whole formula. When you act on anything that contains more excitement than something else, you are actually aligning with the energy of your true natural self. That's how your physical body interprets the energy of your true being, as excitement, passion, love, creativity. That's what that feeling is. It's that resonant energy that is your true core being. So anytime you act on anything that contains more of it than anything else, you are making a commitment to align with that energy. And when you do that, with no insistence on what the outcome should look like, you open up the complete kit of excitement and all the tools in it that can serve you. Those tools are that it supports you in any way you need to be supported with your excitement. It acts as the driving engine that moves you through life. It acts as the organizing principle that brings the synchronous events in your life that you need at exactly the right time in exactly the right order. It is the path of least resistance that allows you to experience the flow of life in an effortless way. It is the path that connects to any other expression of excitement, so by following that thread, it will lead you to anything else that needs to be expressed as excitement in your life. And it is the reflective mirror that reveals to you anything within your unconscious mind that might be out of alignment with that excitement, so you can identify it, integrate it, and bring that energy back into alignment so you can expand your excitement and keep progressing and keep growing that way. So the formula of acting on your excitement to the best of your ability with no insistence on the outcome is what will allow the kit to work, and that's the formula, and that's all you need to do to live your life to the fullest, which is the only purpose and mission that you actually have in life.
Awesome.
Does that help?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Sounds like a good idea, yes?
Hello, Bashar.
And are you good day?
I offer you my heartfelt gratitude.
And ours as well to you.
Thank you. For several years, I had pain in my hip.
Yes.
And
hip, hip, hooray.
thank you. And then several months, in the past few months, I had pain in my elbow.
Oh, all right.
And last night, I purchased one of the crystals,
Yes.
or your contact
Yes.
crystal.
Yes.
And acting on my highest excitement,
And?
I went home and did the meditation, and in the morning when I
Yes.
woke up, I had no pain anywhere in my body.
Because pain is resistance to the natural self. When you stop resisting the natural self, energy flows. There is no blockage, there is no resistance, and there is no pain.
I meditate, I use all kinds of crystals, and still that pain was persistent.
Yes.
Is there
But
anything
you
you
found
can-
the permission slip that aligned most strongly with your own belief system that allowed you to finally give yourself permission to be more of who you are. We are happy to have been in some way a part of the idea of reflecting to you your own power, but you did it, not the crystal. It's just that the crystal somehow aligns more accurately with your belief system, where you finally allowed yourself to believe that it was okay to give yourself permission to let the resistance go.
Right, okay. Is there anything else that you can tell me about the crystal? Does it need to ever be recharged, or do I do the meditation again for any reason down the...
You do understand our definition of permission slips, yes?
Yes, I do.
Then why are you asking a question that you can answer?
I'm wondering if there's anything else that you might offer in addition
Well, you
to-
understand that it is, in essence, a kind of a vote for contact, yes?
Yes.
Remember that the first contact you need to have is with more of yourself.
Okay.
I can
Thank
offer you that.
Thank you.
Does that help?
Very much so.
Yes.
I also wanted to ask you, what can you tell us, please, about Planet X?
Let's just put it this way for now. Anything that you have heard, you don't necessarily need to worry about or pay attention to at this particular moment. And that's all we'll say for the moment.
Thank you very much.
Let us remind you all, by the example that has been given here, and please understand again, this is not meant to be scary, just for your understanding. When you align with yourself, the idea of pain will vanish because there is no more resistance. Conversely, because things are amplifying, because things are accelerating, energetic or definitional misalignment in your energy will start to be experienced by more and more people on your planet almost immediately as a physiological pain and a physical representation of the misalignment. It's getting to the point where you can no longer ignore or bury the idea of energetic misalignments, because they will now begin, as things accelerate, to actually show themselves in your body almost immediately when you expose yourself to higher energies that cannot flow through you because there may be misalignment in your energy. It will actually push anything in your body, your physical body, that has a energetic weakness in it into misalignment to show you that the definitions and energy within you are misaligned. Don't be afraid of this. Just pay attention if this happens and recognize that it may seem very strange that you're standing still one moment doing nothing, and suddenly something may go out of joint for no reason. When you start moving in the direction of higher excitement or start exposing yourself to beings that have a higher frequency than you do, anything within you that is misaligned will start to show itself now more physically and concretely, because things are coalescing, things are accelerating. This is the day and age you asked for. This is the result. This is one of the symptoms, is that anything that's misaligned will start to actually manifest in physical reality far faster. So get aligned. Get aligned.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Bashar.
And to you, good day.
How are you?
Perfect, and you?
Fine.
Just fine?
Yeah,
Oh, all right. Not perfectly fine?
I suppose.
Or are you just perfectly adequate?
I don't know.
All right.
I wanted to ask you, I guess because for me this is a point of confusion about following the path of greatest excitement.
Yes.
I wanted to know which path would be mine or anybody else's path of greatest excitement if I could change my mindset about my current circumstance to make it more exciting.
Well, again, this is always what we advise, is make sure that when you are examining your choices, that something that may not seem exciting actually might be, if you examine that you may be the one coloring it to make it seem like it's not. So it's always wise to take a moment and make sure you're not making your excitement seem like something less than your excitement. If you recognize you're doing that and find out why you would color it that way to make it seem less exciting than it could be, then you will recognize, by recognizing it might be your excitement and how you're coloring it, whether or not it is exciting enough at that moment for you to take action on more than anything else. You'll bring it to the forefront and have a true comparison with anything else that excites you. And then you can decide between them which excites you more, and or which you actually have more capability of taking some action on without any assumption of the outcome. Remember, please, that the things that excite you don't always excite you because that thing has to come to fruition. Your excitement will know that sometimes there might be resistances within you, and so it might choose something to excite you with that it knows you'll actually respond to. It doesn't mean that thing that excites you has to come to fruition. It may just have been necessary to excite you that way, to get you to move forward, to get you off your butt. And then the real thing that excites you, now that you're moving, will show up. But you wouldn't have seen that thing if you hadn't moved from A to B first. And the other thing that excited you may have only been for the purpose of getting you to move from A to B so that you could see C. Make sense?
Yes.
So always examine to make sure that if you find yourself resistant to something that's in your life, if it really is just a recognition that it's not what you prefer, or whether you're coloring it to make it seem so because of something you fear. Once you've cleared that up, then you will simply see what your choices are that excite you, and you can act on the one that's either most exciting or the one you have the greatest capability of doing something about. And that's all there is to it. It's that simple. Does this help you?
Yes.
Does this clear it up a bit?
Yeah, it does.
Anything else?
Yeah, I also wanted to know why, because I've been researching information about you and about a lot of other circumstances around this same kind of realm of information, but I just wanted to know why it's hard for me to remember.
Remember what?
Remember, like, the information is in, like, for example, yesterday's transmission.
Yes.
Why is it hard for me to remember exactly what was discussed in full? You know, it's like...
Because you don't understand it yet.
How come?
Because you're not using it fully yet. When you actually understand the nature and structure of existence, then you will know what you need to know when you need to know it. It won't be an issue of remembering. You don't need to remember. You just need to know that you will know what you need to know when you need to know it.
Okay.
That's it. You're trying to remember. Stop trying to remember. Just know that you will know what you need to know when you need to know it. And then you'll remember, so to speak.
Okay.
But because you don't understand that mechanism yet, you're having difficulty because you're trying to do something you don't really need to do. You just need to apply. You just need to use. Remember that what you know to be true, you just do. It's in your behavior. You don't question it. You don't think about it. It's just part of you. It's just who you are. So you need to make this your own. You really need to have an understanding of the nature of the structure of existence and how the machine works, so to speak. And when you have that, you'll know that it's not an issue of remembering, it's just an issue of knowing. And wherever you find yourself, in whatever state you find yourself or create for yourself, the things you need to know that are relevant to that state are the things you will know in that state. The things you don't know in that state are not things you need to know or can't know from that state. Change your state, you change what you know. Make sense?
Yes.
Will you remember what I just said?
Evidently when I need to know it.
Thank you.
I also had one real quick last question.
Yes.
Is Valiant Thor from Venus, as described by Dr. Frank Strange's real alien that made human contact or physical
We are
contact?
not going to talk too much about that, but let us just say again, the idea of Venus in your solar system, in your dimensional plane, is not a place that is inhabited, but in other dimensions it is.
Okay.
Therefore, when someone says from Venus, they don't actually mean from the sauna planet in your solar system. They mean from another dimension. And the way in which they present themselves is a matter of what you need to see to understand in your terms something of what they are. But that being is far different and far more than you think. It's only projecting what you need to see to understand it, to the degree you need to understand it. Yes?
Yes.
That's it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, Bashar.
And you good day.
So earlier you talked about following your highest excitement.
I did.
And, in my experience, for me, I left behind a secure and, what I guess you would call a prestigious corporate job.
All right, if you insist.
Yeah, to follow my highest excitement.
Then it wasn't that secure if it wasn't your excitement, even though you may have been trained to think it was.
Right. And one of my experiences in following this path of following my highest excitement has been just experiencing severe financial struggle, and in a way that I've never experienced before.
All right, now before you continue, you do remember, although again, this is always your choice. Maybe this is the process you believed you needed. That's up to you. But as we always remind all of you, please do take the time to honor your belief system, because if you really, really believe and can't let go of the belief that you need that kind of a job in order to be supported in life, it is not wise to jump off the cliff if you don't know you have a parachute. But if you believe that the fall will actually allow you to learn faster how to knit a parachute on the way down, then that's all right as a choice. But please do not deprive yourself or force yourself into a situation that you don't actually believe you're ready to handle. You can work on your excitement a bit at a time at whatever pace you're comfortable with. Nevertheless, if you believe that the idea of simply jumping in to ice water will allow you immediately to do what you need to do, then that's okay too if you can use it that way. But you have to be honest with whether you really believe that this particular methodology will work for you.
Yeah, I don't think I knew I had that belief until I jumped.
All right, well, there you go. So it's revealing things to you. Now,
Right.
Of course, you actually do have the capacity to completely turn this around if you stop struggling with definitions of abundance that are out of alignment with what you prefer.
Okay.
Do you remember our definition of abundance?
No.
Would you like us to repeat it?
Yes.
Abundance, the ability to do what you need to do when you need to do it. Period. Notice I didn't say anything about finances.
Right.
I am not denying that money is one of the ways that abundance can be represented on your planet. That's fine. But the idea is that if you expand your definition of abundance to all of the forms that could allow you to do what you need to do when you need to do it, then when money needs to be the one that is the path of least resistance, money is the way it will show up. But sometimes money isn't the path of least resistance, and insisting that that's the only way that you're going to be able to be supported in this situation or that circumstance that you have all of these assumptions about because society has told you it can't be done any other way. Authority. Then you will deprive yourself and close the doors to all the other ways that abundance could actually flow to you that might actually be the path of least resistance and allow you to be supported much more effortlessly. For example, someone may be saying, well, I'm struggling, saving enough money to buy my dream house, and no matter how much I struggle, I just can't seem to save enough money to get that dream house. All right, well, maybe the struggle is telling you that that's not the path of least resistance. By continuing to act on your highest excitement, knowing that the thread of excitement is connected to all other expressions of your excitement if you would only follow it, then maybe by just going, all right, I'll give it a shot. I will just now put that aside, stop struggling, and I will just look around and say, all right, what's the next exciting thing? What is the most exciting thing I could do out of the options available to me right now? Well, actually, it's going to lunch with a friend. Now, how does this have anything at all to do with saving up enough money to buy that house? I don't know, but I have to trust that excitement will lead me there because it's all connected. And if that house or a house truly excites me, if it's truly a representation of my highest excitement, it's got to be included in this entire formula somehow, somewhere. But by actually moving away from that specific focus and following where excitement is actually doing this, then you're paying attention to how it's going to get you there in an easier way than you think, because now you are not going with the ego, you're going with a higher mind that says, come here, I'll show you the path. It's very simple. So you say, all right, going to lunch with a friend is the most exciting thing, and off you go. And while you're sitting in that restaurant, chatting with your friend and enjoying your meal, the couple at the next table says, gosh, we're going on this 5-year vacation. I wish we could find someone to sit with our house and keep it safe. And if they would just do that, we would let them stay there for free. But gosh, we just can't find anyone. And you turn around and go, well, where's your house? I overheard you, excuse me, but where's your house? Well, it's this house up there on that hill. What? My dream house? You live there? Why, yes. Would you like to house sit for us? Thank you. Now you're in the house. And you didn't spend a dime, and in fact, maybe they pay you to stay in the house. If you think this kind of thing is some sort of an extreme example, it's not. These are the things that happen all the time in synchronicity. When you go with the flow, your life becomes a magical explosion of ridiculous proportions. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Because being given something, being given an opportunity to do something, is every bit as much a representation of abundance as money is. So don't close the doors to all the forms in which abundance can come by insisting that only one will take you where you need to go. Let the path of least resistance show you what form the abundance actually needs to come in. Yes?
Yes.
Does this illustration help you a little bit?
Yes, a lot. Thank you.
All right. Anything else?
Yeah, so I had a question on astral travel.
Yes.
So I've been leaving my body a lot.
Oh, all right. Where do you go?
That's my question. So my question is, I only remember as far as leaving my body and hovering over my body.
Yes.
And
then what do you do?
And then sometimes, I know at one time there was a being that was trying to talk to me. Another time I just shot up into space.
Yes.
And that's all I remember. So my question is...
well, why not have a destination in mind?
I don't know. I don't even know. I mean, why am I...
Let me ask you a question, if I
Okay.
may. When you go and buy a ticket to travel somewhere and you get on the airplane, do you just go to the airport and say, take me anywhere? I don't know where I'm going to wind up.
Well, I mean...
You usually have a
right.
specific destination in mind, yes?
Right. So where do I go currently, and what are some places that I
You
can
go to different
Where does-
places, but again, you're experiencing the idea from your point of view in a directionless way. Why not figure out where you want to go before you start traveling? Then you'll know
Okay.
where to wind up.
How do I figure out where I want
What do you
to
mean?
go?
How do you figure it out? Where would you like to go? You don't have any idea of the places you can visit when you're out of your body?
Other realms. I
What does that mean to you? You want a specific target? Come to our planet.
Okay. And
Esasani, in a parallel reality, about 500 light years in the direction of the Orion Belt.
all right.
Have you looked at the Orion Belt in your winter sky?
No.
Well, why not? Go look at it. You know Orion, the constellation?
Mm-hmm.
You familiar with the belt, the 3 stars of the belt?
No.
Well, get familiar.
Okay.
This is you making your travel plans, yes?
Yes.
So get familiar with the constellation, but understand that you're going to go into a different dimension where our reality exists that's every bit as solid to us as yours is to you, but because it's in a parallel reality, we're invisible to you until you make the shift into our frequency. Mm-hmm. You're familiar with us, and we've given you our quote-unquote phone number of the black equilateral triangle against the black background, but the black triangle is separated from the black background by a deep blue light peeking out from around the edges. Use that and your familiarity with our vibration to guide you when you're astrally traveling. Say, I'm going to Esasani. Head for the Orion Belt, knowing what we feel like in this interaction, remembering this interaction and our energy, picturing the equilateral black triangle with the blue light emanating from behind it against a black background, and then go. All right?
All right, sounds good.
Come say hello.
Okay, will do.
All right. Happy travels.
Thanks. Thank you. Can I ask one more question?
That was a question, so I guess you just used it up.
My last question is,
We'll see if it's your last question.
so there's also been instances where beings have tried to contact me
Yes.
in my sleep,
Yes.
and I was wondering who they are. Are they...
Sometimes they are guides. Sometimes they are the beings you call the Greys. Sometimes they're something else. We're not going to go into that right now for you.
Okay, great.
But right now, just plan your trip. All right?
All right, thank you.
Get educated as to where you're going, lay it all out, and bon voyage.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good day, Bashar.
And you good day.
So I've heard you talk about bubble realities
Bubble realities, yes.
and split realities, and then shifting
Yes.
to parallel realities.
Yes,
Could you-
pretty much all the same idea.
It is, okay.
Just different vernacular for different purposes of conversation.
Okay. Would you be able to expand on how we, as a group, create bubble realities? You had talked about
Well,
that
you do it
before.
by agreement. In other words, to put it colloquially, it's like saying that you have invited someone to play the game of chess. Yes? Well, if you're going to play the game of chess, then you need a board of a specific design that is a chess board. So you agree to lay out the foundation. You need pieces that are shaped a certain way. So you agree to use those pieces with someone else. You say, well, these pieces have to have certain abilities, and you agree on the rules that you will use to play this game, and they are the chess rules, and so you know that you're playing by the same rules by agreement. And then you create the material, create the pieces, put them on the board, sit down, and now that you know all that, you begin to play. It's a similar idea. You do this idea by creating a consensus reality, and you lay out the playing board, and you lay out the rules, and you say, well, this is what we're generally going to abide by in order to have this experience of playing this game with each other. It's done on a higher level. It's done on the spirit level and through what we call the template level vibrational border between physical and non-physical reality experience. Does this make sense?
Yes.
Is this answering your question?
Yes.
All right. Did you want to embellish this or explore this further?
No, I think that's fine for now.
All right. Anything else?
Yes. There's a term from the Heart Math Institute called coherence,
Yes.
with the coherence of the mind and the heart.
Yes.
I was wondering if you could expand on that.
Well, it's simply alignment. It's simply resonating together. It's really the idea that you're experiencing right now in the fact that we can communicate through a biological entity on your planet because the channel has been trained to have the kind of brainwave coherence necessary that functions like a tuning fork that is tuned to our vibration, so that when we have thoughts, if the channel operates on a similar wavelength, then the channel has similar thoughts at the same time. Therefore is able to translate our thoughts by linking and having coherence and alignment with our thoughts, because our thoughts exist on a certain frequency level. By matching that level, you have the same thoughts at the same time. This is how telepathy and channeling work.
Hi, Bashar.
And you good day.
I have to say it's an honor and pleasure to speak with you today.
For us as well to speak with you.
So, my question is, I recently spoke to my higher self directly,
All right.
and they asked me
You're
to,
doing that right now anyway, but
Yes.
go ahead.
and they asked me to ask myself 2 questions,
Yes.
and
And
I
did
just-
you answer?
I thought about it, and I just wanted to know if what I think the answer is that
Well,
accurate?
What did you think? And what was the question?
I believe it was.
What was the question?
It was in regards to why is it so difficult for myself to have that longing sensation for a certain entity which I've never met.
And what was your answer?
I still don't know.
I thought you said you answered it.
I thought I did too, but I wasn't sure.
All right. What kind of an entity are you longing for?
I don't know.
Then how do you know the longing has anything to do with an entity?
That's what I was told.
Do you understand that you are also an entity?
Yes,
Maybe you're longing for yourself.
I believe so.
Now you have your answer.
Thank you.
What else?
In the next 3 years, what are the possible highest probabilities for my future.
You mean a probable future?
Yes.
That's up to you. What do you prefer them to be?
I have no idea.
That's a good start. Do you trust the way that your life unfolds?
Yes.
Do you trust that synchronicity is the organizing principle that will bring you the opportunities in the order in which you need to act on them?
Yes.
Then I guess you'll find out, won't you?
I guess so.
It's a process. It's not an answer book. It's a process. Go through the process so that you have a richer understanding of what it is you will experience.
Okay,
Whatever
thanks.
that may be. We're not going to pin it down for you.
Yes.
That wouldn't be of service to you.
And then for my last question is, how did the dinosaurs die?
Well, several different ways. Some of your scientists are generally correct in the idea that there was a major asteroidal strike on your planet that changed the environment and made for most of the saurian population an uncomfortable environment to continue in. However, they didn't really all die, as many of you know. Many of them evolved into what you now understand to be birds. Yes?
Yes.
So you still actually have dinosaurs. They're just now avian dinosaurs.
I see. So was it an asteroid that...
There was an asteroidal impact. In fact, there have been several. Plus, there are also other kinds of changes and extinctions that occur for a variety of environmental reasons, such as volcanic activity, such as certain gases that are released into the ocean that will kill off entire ecosystems. There's a combination of things going on, but there are sometimes obvious triggers, such as asteroidal impacts, that may begin such a cycle.
Okay. Thank you.
Does that help?
Yes, thank you very much.
All right, thank you.
Hi, Bashar.
Annie, you good day.
I was wondering if you would describe your birth.
Fun,
Yeah.
explosive, eye-opening, full of amazement, full of the visceral vibrational experience of 200 million collective minds welcoming me to the world through telepathic contact. What else would you like to know?
What is your body like when it came out? I don't know if it came out of somewhere or...
Well, no. It came out of an energy sphere. We used to procreate much like you do. But over the course of our evolution, we have gotten to the point where we are now what we call quasi-physical. We're sort of a blend of physical and non-physical, a blend of physical and spirit in a way. We still have what you would perceive to be bodies, but they feed only on energy, on light. When a birth in that sense is agreed upon, then between the individuals that are forming the relationship to create the avenue or the conduit for the birth, an energy sphere is created between them in the air.
How many individuals?
That depends.
It can be many.
It can, depends on what's going on. An energy sphere is created, and within that energy sphere, a body begins to form. Then the consciousness will associate itself with that body that has agreed to experience the incarnation, and then it will be born. And at what you call about age 3, it is relatively still small, but a fully formed individual that can go wandering the world seeking what it needs.
And does your quasi-physical body could it do yoga poses we could only dream of? Is it extremely flexible and...
Yes, it could. In fact, I can pass my own arm through my torso.
Wow. Can you detach your arm and give it a massage?
Some individuals can, yes.
Only some?
Well, it's not relevant for everyone to do so. Remember that we operate on pure synchronism, which means only the things that are relevant for an individual to experience are what they experience in life. and it may not be relevant for the theme that they're experiencing. Not everyone has to have the same abilities. In fact, it would remove individuality if we did.
Do you all have the same beliefs?
We all have the same general knowledge of how existence works. So we can see the nature and structure of existence. That's what we're describing to all of you. We're not sharing a philosophical point of view. We're actually describing an instruction manual for how reality works. We can see the structure of existence. So we're just describing an observation to you. It's not really a belief.
So you don't really have any beliefs?
We do have belief systems that work temporarily for a variety of different reasons. If we wish to have certain experiences that belief systems have to go hand in hand with, but it really goes beyond that because it's really more about knowing, which is above and beyond believing.
Okay, I have another question.
Yes?
Sometimes when a negative emotion comes up,
Yes?
I just say, well, there must be a positive reason.
Exactly.
Or I might say, well, everything is ultimately okay.
Yes, but that doesn't mean you should ignore it or gloss it over, because it is there for a reason. And the primary reason that you might experience what you're calling a negative emotion is to find out the negative definition that's giving rise to it. Because emotions can't exist on their own in a vacuum. There has to be a definition you're buying into as true in order to experience the emotion that results from the definition. So you can use the emotion to trace it back and find the definition by asking the question, what would I have to believe is true about myself in this circumstance in order to feel what I'm feeling? That's what having those emotions are for. You own them, you acknowledge them, and you understand that they're representative of something that you're buying into that you believe is true. Find out what the definition is, because if it's out of alignment with who you prefer to be, you need to identify it in order to let it go. And once you let it go, then your energy will change and the emotions you experience will change. It always works in this direction. First, you have a definition and you buy into it as a belief. That generates emotions, thoughts, and behaviors. So any behaviors that you deem are out of alignment with what you prefer, any thoughts or feelings that are out of alignment, you can always ask that question. What would I have to believe is true in order to behave, think, feel the way I do? Find out what it is. That's what the process is for. To let go of the things that are not relevant for you, to streamline yourself, to lighten yourself up. That's what enlightenment actually means. To lighten yourself up and let go of things that are not relevant for you, to find out who you really are at your core. What's your essential self? Know thyself. That's the mantra.
Okay, so the function of just saying there must be a positive reason for this is just to lighten things up a little bit, but you still need to dig down and...
You still need to know what the reason is. Otherwise, if you're unaware of it, how are you going to let something go that you don't know what it is? You're not owning it. You're not aware of it. You can't change what you don't own.
But what if the negative emotion goes away after you say that? You know?
Does it really go away, though, or does it keep coming back?
Maybe temporarily it might.
Temporarily, which again means you may have simply put off what you will then encounter again later, because you haven't really found the reason why it's happening. If it really never comes back, then you may have developed a shorthand permission slip that really allows you to let go of the negative belief that was generating it. And that's fine if it works for you that way. But most of you don't work that way yet. So if you can, that's wonderful. But if it keeps coming back, that should be your first clue that you haven't really let it go.
Is that a stage in our evolution where it would be that easy to just say that?
Absolutely. Because you realize that you are the ultimate permission slip and you're making the changes anyway, so you don't then need any other artificial reflection or symbol in order to give yourself permission to let it go. Because you become aware of what they are. You're willing to acknowledge that you have certain negative ideas within you. Please do remember that as you expand your consciousness, you may not experience as much negativity, but you don't become less aware of negativity, you become more aware of negativity because you become more aware of everything in creation which has negative and positive and neutral. It's a trinity. The idea is that when you operate from the balance point at the center, you become much more aware of not only the positive choices, but the possible negative choices as well, because you're seeing more of existence. So it's about choosing what you prefer without invalidating what you don't, because what you don't prefer is just as valid in its own terms as what you do prefer, but you don't have to experience the effect of what you don't prefer as long as you realize that you're not invalidating it. Because invalidating it and putting a negative judgment on it is just adding to the negative energy. Because you're saying it has no value. That's negative. To say that a negative experience has no value is itself amplifying the negative energy. To recognize it has value gives you the opportunity to use it in the way you prefer positively and get the benefit from it by knowing it has to be there for a reason. But sometimes you may need to know what that reason is, what the actual definition is that generated that particular feeling. Yes?
Yes.
Does that help?
Yes, it helps.
Well, thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, Bashar.
And you good day.
I have a question about social activism.
Social activism. Yes?
So what I mean is, and I mean it from the point of view of not from an ally point of view, meaning that not as someone who can sympathize, but often can't empathize.
Yes.
But what I really mean is from someone who's experienced certain struggles.
All right, well, how are you relating the idea of struggles to social activism?
So now my understanding could be flawed, so you can feel free to correct me at any time.
Speak up and be clear.
Okay, 1 second. Okay, there you go. So based off of my understanding, a soul chooses to incarnate
Yes.
to explore certain experiences.
Yes.
Or learn certain lessons.
To grow.
To grow, right?
To discover yourself from a new point of view.
So that soul picks the appropriate socio-political economic circumstance
Yes.
to maximize that learning.
Yes.
Correct?
Generally speaking, sometimes very specifically. Sometimes they're willing to just be general, knowing that in the overall environment, maybe 5 or 10 things could still serve to allow them to explore the theme, and so they might leave it up to a synchronistic or random choice as to what exactly those parameters are. It just depends on the individual and what they're looking to do. But in general, yes.
Okay, so then that soul incarnates,
Yes.
which I might be oversimplifying.
Although again, we're speaking linearly, but we'll go with it.
So they have this focused experience in
Yes.
these parameters of
Yes.
where social situations are.
Yes.
And then so they're born in a situation where their environment teaches them certain external beliefs
Yes.
that they first bring in.
Yes.
Then they believe those beliefs. They internalize those beliefs.
Yes,
And
until they arrive at a point in their lives where if they choose to begin to move in the direction of awakening, they may find themselves then challenging those beliefs or those beliefs challenging them, yes.
Right. But often right before that step, there's the recreation of that in the way that your beliefs create your reality.
Yes.
You end up creating those experiences for yourself, further validating those beliefs that are ultimately
Well, in some
disempowered.
senses, further validating them, that's one way, or sometimes by continuing to create things that don't work for you long enough by realizing that that's not what works for you.
Right.
Not invalidating them, but just realizing it's not what you prefer.
So once you're there, and you
Yes.
realize you're experiencing something you don't prefer.
Yes.
Often I think what motivates a lot of activists, whether it be Martin Luther King or me,
Yes.
would be first self-empowerment.
Of course, it has to
Because-
begin there, or you can't help anyone else.
Right. But then there is a broader goal of wanting to empower the whole, or making it more
Well, it's not
accessible.
exactly a want, but I understand what you mean. It's a need. It's a
Yes.
need to share who you are, a need to express who you are, giving others the opportunity to awaken to who they are.
Right.
But it's not something that you must insist must happen.
Right. So what I find now, and I'm
Yes.
not beyond this,
Yes.
is that often people, in pushing against a reality so strongly, they end up spinning their wheels in hurt and pain and anger.
Yes.
And really can't move past that. We see that every day in the news.
Yes.
So how could we apply your teachings and the laws that you talk about to truly and better reach those goals?
Well, again, you already expressed it. It's about knowing yourself and empowering your true self. Because when you understand that you are already as powerful as you need to be, and express your joy and passion in life and function as a living example to others that they could, by learning the same ideas, live that way too, then they will choose to change and match that frequency, and there's no struggle involved. You're just walking through life as a living example.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
Because again, it's not about the fact that you need anyone to change. In fact, you can't change anyone.
Right.
And in fact, you never actually change the world you're in. You change yourself, and you shift to another version of Earth that is already more reflective of the change you made within yourself.
Right.
You understand?
So ultimately, we're not, if there is social change, social progress, it's not that we're solving the solution permanently forever. It's that we're leaving the possibility of all experiences open to anyone who chooses to resonate with certain realities.
Exactly, because then people can choose what they wish or prefer to experience and leave behind the realities in which people are experiencing something different.
Right.
It doesn't erase those realities, but it does remove the experience from your reality because it was never in your reality. You've removed yourself from a reality where those experiences are possible.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
Is that helping?
Yes.
Does that answer your question?
Yes. Can I ask another question?
That was a question. You want to ask another one?
Yes.
All right.
So there are two experiences that I have that feel very similarly physically.
Yes.
One is when I'm opened up and expanded in my consciousness, and it feels like I'm channeling wisdom.
Well, you probably are.
And in those moments, my body sometimes shakes, just like higher
Yes.
energy frequency, you know?
Yes, because you're not really used to that frequency yet, and there may be a few little, well, let's just call them resistances.
Right.
And therefore, until you are really trusting it fully and allowing it to flow through you in a superconductive way, you may find that the resistances may sometimes make your body shake.
And so I have a similar physical response to sometimes when I hear really high consciousness information.
Exactly.
Or really empowering, like even if I listen to a podcast and I like what they're talking about.
Well, it's the same thing. It's high frequency energy, high frequency information. There's no difference.
And so what's the best way of acclimating physically to that higher frequency?
Acting on your highest passion to the best that you are able, with no insistence on the outcome. Because by acting on your passion, what are you doing? You're raising your frequency. You're getting used to a higher frequency. And it makes you a better receiver and processor and conduit of similar higher frequency energies. When we talk about the idea that that's the formula that activates the kit and say that this is the entire instruction manual, we mean it is the entire instruction manual. We're not leaving anything out.
Okay.
So that's the answer to all questions of that nature. Act on your passion. It'll activate all the tools in the kit, the driving engine, the organizing principle of synchronicity, the path of least resistance, the path that connects you to all expressions of excitement, that which supports you in life, the reflective mirror that reveals to you anything that's out of alignment with your preferred vibration, and by simply always choosing to stay in a positive state and give positive meaning, no matter what happens, you will always get the positive and beneficial effect of whatever manifests from the actions that you took. That's the entire instruction manual. We can always go into greater detail of each of those components to allow people to really wrap their minds around it. But that's all we're doing, is breaking down the components of that instruction manual. There are no other instructions beyond it.
Okay.
Make sense?
Yes.
Does that help?
Yes.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Thank you.
Can I ask one more question?
Well, I
In
guess
addition
that
to
was
the-
your last question, because you just asked it.
Okay. Well, thank you.
You're welcome. Trust your timing. Everything will be fine.
Hello, Bashar.
And to you, good day.
Greetings from Brazil.
All right.
I was reading the book, the Blueprint for a Change,
Yes.
this week, preparing myself for this.
Oh, all right.
And you said in the book that we are all gods.
All
Gods.
Well, in a sense, yes. You are all aspects of one thing. So you're all the creators of your reality experience. You are all aspects of God.
Yes, I was wondering if this is a proof, like for a lack of a better word, that we have that we have free will.
Yes, of course you do.
Okay.
But you create your own destiny too. As we said, again, speaking linearly, before the life, you may create a theme that you will explore. That theme is what you will explore. That's your destiny, but you chose it. But within the exploration of that theme, that destiny, you have the free will to explore it however you wish. You can be happy, you can be sad, you can be fast, you can be slow, you can be up, you can be down, you can be backwards, you can be forwards, side to side, this or that. That's your free will exploring the destiny of the theme you chose.
Okay.
Does that help?
Yes.
All right.
I have another question regarding to
Yes.
the book. Is you said that one thing that we have here in our planet is guilt.
Yes.
And guilt is the worst. It's not the worst, but it's the opposite of love.
Yes.
It's exactly that.
Because you're completely devaluing yourself.
Uh-huh. And
I'm not saying that you can't have a conscience. That's not the same thing as guilt. The idea is you can empathize and realize when you might be out of alignment and desire to bring yourself back into alignment, and that you might have taken an action that has consequences that are out of alignment with who you prefer to be. But feeling guilty about it only perpetuates the misalignment.
Okay.
It's knowing that you are learning something from having gone out of alignment and learned that you don't prefer to be out of alignment, and then bringing yourself back into alignment that precludes a need to feel guilt. But you can have a conscience and recognize that you are out of alignment.
Okay.
But if you add guilt to it, you're only making it take longer to come back into alignment. Because guilt is a devaluation of the fact that you went out of alignment. So you're heaping negativity on top of negativity. Instead of saying, oops, this is not what I prefer. I have now learned a lesson. I bring myself back into alignment. Therefore, no guilt necessary because I am learning something from it. Make sense?
Yes, but I was wondering why are we have here in our planet the judicial systems, the law system. Because
why do you have it?
Yeah, because
you don't know how to
perpetuating-
behave, because you don't know who you are. So you have to tell someone how you should behave so you won't kill each other.
Okay, how this works in your planet?
We don't have that because we know who we are. We value everyone as an individual and know that they belong, and thus we operate on pure synchronism. Everything is exactly happening exactly the way it needs to, when it needs to, with whom it needs to.
Okay, so
we don't need anyone to tell us how to do it because it's innately within us. It's innately within all of you. It's just that we're reminding you of that fact and helping you awaken to that fact so you can experience the same thing that we do if you prefer to.
But this judicial system wouldn't be reinforcing the guilt, the system of guilt?
Well, of
Here in our
course,
planet.
I'm not saying that you don't exude the guilt into all the systems on your planet. Of course you do. because you are creating them in your image. So if you feel guilt, you're going to create a system that perpetuates the idea because you don't want to feel alone. Remember when we said misery loves company? So if you believe that you are unworthy, you are only capable of creating systems that reinforce unworthiness. You can't create something you're not the vibration of.
So how can we create a new system?
Shall I repeat the formula again? You validate every single individual difference. You act on your highest passion. You be yourself as fully as you can. And that's all it takes to start the ball of synchronism rolling if more and more people are willing to do that.
Okay.
And not be in fear. Yes?
Yes.
That's all it takes.
Okay.
When you see how easy this is and how easy it's always been, you'll all shock yourselves. Why didn't we do this sooner? It's really not difficult at all. You've just been taught to believe that it is. So you think it's going to be a struggle to change that. It's not. It's not.
I find myself working on changing my beliefs.
Yes, well, that's the point.
Yeah, but it's hard. It's really
That's
hard.
a belief. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's not a fact that it's hard. It's an opinion that it's hard. It's a perspective that it's hard. It's a belief that it's hard. It's not a fact.
Okay.
That's where you all get yourselves into trouble. When you think the things coming out of your mouths are facts. There's no such thing as an inherently difficult situation. It's just that when you believe it's difficult, you can only experience it that way. Therefore, it shouldn't be surprising that you think it's hard, but you have to understand that the only reason you experience it that way is because you thought, you believed, you defined it to be hard to begin with.
Okay.
It's the definition that creates the experience. An experience might reinforce a definition, but the definition had to be there first in order for you to have any experience at all. If there was no definition, there would be no experience. So when you hear yourself saying things like, but it's hard to change, stop yourself, catch yourself, listen to yourself, and go, wait a minute, that's not a fact. It's something I've been taught to believe is true. And I don't have to believe that.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
All right.
Thank you.
Sound like a bunch of balloons popping.
Okay. Happy birthday, Bashar.
Thank you and good day.
I would like to ask you, what can I do to help humanity and myself to reach a higher level of conscience?
Are you acting on your highest passion every moment that you can with no insistence on the outcome? Hesitation usually means no.
As much as I can, I do.
That's all you need to do.
Yeah,
That's
sometimes
all
you have to do what you have to do.
to do. Do the best you can. Keep looking for ways to do better and just do the best you can. That's all you need to do. You get to decide what your passion and your expressions are. And that's all it takes, is the willingness to continue to grow and be more and more capable, more and more willing to act on your passion sooner and sooner and sooner. That's all it takes. It's that simple. It really is that simple. And when you understand it's that simple, you will realize that a lot of these questions are not different questions. They're the same question in different clothing.
Exactly.
And they have the same answer.
That's how I feel when you're answering her.
Yes,
Yeah.
because it is the same question. So it's going to have the same answer. Go to the instruction manual, follow the formula. We're giving you the instruction manual because that's what works. We're not hiding anything from you. We're not going to tell them about this. This is too good. We'll keep this to ourselves. Their planet can't possibly understand this. Too good for them, because they're all so guilty. And do we feel guilty about not giving them the instruction manual? No! Because we are giving you the instruction manual. All of it. Understand, please. Understand. When we talk about these principles as an instruction manual, and maybe this illustration will help crystallize this for you in your reality, it is no different than an instruction manual someone would give you to learn how to operate a piece of machinery or drive one of your automobiles. It's no different. When you actually follow the instructions precisely, you will get the effect the instructions are designed to deliver. Just like when you learn to drive an automobile, someone hands you a key. Oh, what's that do? Look at the instruction manual. I'm supposed to put this in this slot called an ignition. Oh, now I'm supposed to turn it. I should hear the engine start. Oh, I do. Now I will step on this pedal called a brake. Yes, I'm following the instruction. Oh, now I shift this stick into this gear called drive. Yes. Now I take my foot off the brake carefully. I step on this brake called the gas pedal carefully. And oh, look, the car is moving. I wonder why the car is moving. I guess I must have followed the instructions. That's all you need to do.
I love you.
We love you too. That's why we are giving you something that is so simple, so easy, so much fun, and reminding you that it isn't any more difficult than that. Yes, we understand that you might need practice, just as you might need practice to drive one of your automobiles, but that's okay. Just because you need practice doesn't mean that there are any more instructions in the manual for how to operate the car. Everything else is just about getting used to the idea of how driving the car needs to be done in a social context that allows everyone to operate in the most synchronous way. But synchronicity is part of the instruction manual. So if you just drive the car in the way you were instructed, and you are the person that you need to be driving the car, then you will experience the interaction in a positive, beneficial way, no matter how it looks, no matter what happens. Because remember, it's not about what happens. It's about what you do with what happens that matters.
Yeah.
Yes?
Absolutely.
Does this help?
A lot.
All right.
And I have another question. It's integrated with this one too. I believe that we came in general to help each other.
Yes.
To accelerate this.
You are all mirrors for each other, of course.
Yeah. But I believe too that you in particular, which one in particular have like a specific purpose that we came here.
Yes.
On top of that.
But that's your theme. But your purpose is to be yourself. That's your purpose. To be yourself as fully as you can. There are many ways to express your purpose. But those are expressions of your purpose.
Is
the
there
passion,
an expression that I came to do that I'm not doing yet?
Are you following all the passions you can possibly be aware of? Are you doing the things you are passionate about? Yes or no?
Yes. Yeah.
Then that's it. If there are other things that are reflective of your passion, won't they be revealed to you in proper timing as opportunities by the organizing principle of synchronicity?
Yes.
Then there you go. If you are doing everything and acting on it to the best of your ability of everything you're aware of right now, what more could you possibly be doing? Nothing.
Practicing the gift that you just gave us today.
All right, then. That's your next step, perhaps, for you.
That's my next step, exactly.
All right. Well, thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you. And I have one more question.
Do
I
you?
would love to help my the people in my native language to
Yes.
know more about the ascending principles
Yes.
and level of consciousness. How can I do that?
Well, there are many ways. Obviously, you can explain it to them in your own language. Yes?
That's
No?
how I would like to know how I could do that. Yeah, I can explain
What do you mean?
them.
You have a mouth.
Yeah, I could do.
Or you can also discuss with the organization that handles the information how they may assist you in providing such information or
Alright.
such translations of the information.
Exactly, that's what I wanted.
Well, then you have to take it up with the people on
I
Earth.
feel that they are very thirsty for those things and they don't have so much access because of the language, the barrier
Then
of the
you may
language.
be the one that helps create more access to it by working with the people who have been assigned to do that.
Okay.
Yes?
Yep.
All right.
Perfect.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, Tadeo.
Nania.
Happy birthday.
Thank you. Is it time for your nourishment already?
Well, it may be, unless you want to do some more people. It's about 12 o'clock.
Are you all hungry?
How many more names?
Why don't you start with one and we'll see how it goes.
Okay. Alexis Walters. She's coming. So are you having a fun day?
Always.
But isn't this like a super fun day?
Always.
So does it ever just keep getting better and better?
Always.
That's the nature of existence, isn't it?
Yes.
Except you can feel it because you don't think neurotic thoughts.
Is that fun for your people?
Well, we've honed it to a fine art.
All right, yes. You do realize that we call you the masters of limitation, yes?
Yes.
All right.
Anyway, we're glad to have. Last but not least, Maria Carretters, C-A-R-R-E-T, Carrero. Is she there? Ah,
Yes? Okay.
okay, great.
If we need more, we'll draw more.
Okay. All right, so again, thanks, Darryl.
Thank you.
Have fun. We'll be having fun out here, too.
Okay.
All right.
little to say, did you all enjoy your nourishment break? All right, then allow us to continue the transmission by continuing with your questions and dialogue, if you wish.
So, good afternoon, Bashar.
And a you good day.
So, I remember you saying...
Speak up, speak up.
Can you hear me? Yeah. Okay, I remember you saying like while following your passion, so
Yes.
don't quit your job and...
If you don't believe that your excitement can support you, no, it would not be wise
Correct.
to quit what it is that you believe you need for support until you allow your excitement to prove that it can support you.
Okay, applying the same thing to relationships, like what if you are feeling some huge contrast in an existing relationship and you want to move on, so should I have to completely let go of this and start fresh, or I will stay here and then I will pursue till I get something else?
If you have truly determined that there is vibrational incompatibility and it is no longer serving the relationship
Okay.
to remain in it, then you have to understand the most loving thing and supportive thing you can do is demonstrate the consequences of the difference in the vibration and move on, because then at least you're giving other people an opportunity to decide whether they wish to change to remain in the relationship with you, which allows them to become more vibrationally compatible with you, or you are allowing them to attract whatever vibrational compatibility they need in their life at that moment. So you're doing them a service by showing them who you are, who they're in a relationship with, or who they could be in a relationship with if they choose to, but you're also letting them choose who they may believe they need to be in a relationship with.
Okay, so you're saying like just let them know and just move on, that's what.
Well, yes, you can give them an opportunity to see if they're willing to make a change.
Okay.
But if they have clearly expressed to you that they're not, then the most supportive thing you can do is move on. Because then you're making space for them to attract what they need, as you are also creating space for yourself to attract what you really need. You just have to be really clear and honest with yourself if that is truly not vibrationally compatible, or if you're the one putting labels and definitions on it that is making it seem incompatible. You have to have honest self-examination first, but if you truly determine for yourself that it's no longer compatible, then the best thing you can do for everyone is move on.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, thank you.
Yes. Remember that you are all eternally connected anyway. It's really just a dance. So you'll find each other in some way, shape, or form on some level eventually anyhow. So if what is going on now isn't working in a reflective and supportive way for growth in the relationship, then in some other place at some other time, it probably will.
Hello, Bashar.
And a you good day.
Thank you. Happy birthday.
Thank you.
I wanted to pick up on the conversation we had earlier about non-linear perception of time.
Yes.
And that one oversoul expresses itself in all different versions. So in that sense, the past version of myself, even of yesterday, is not really me. And the intention of my oversoul today versus yesterday versus 10 years ago, especially if I choose to experience different, I forgot the term you used earlier, different life path, if you wish, or different different challenges and stuff.
Yes.
So does everything change then from the now perspective?
Yes.
And what is memory in that sense?
Memory is simply accessing the information you need when you need it. Memory is created in the present. It doesn't come from the past. You know what you need to know when you need to know it in the present.
All right. How does the memory of our perceived lifetime work? Because we all carry sort of an individual history that we tend to identify with.
But you're
set of
creating
parents.
that history in the present every moment.
All right.
You're
so
reinventing it with whatever you believe are the so-called slight changes you believe are necessary to give you some sense that you're moving forward in time. But in fact, you're reinventing it completely. It's just that you make the next version seem so similar to the last version that it seems like not much has changed. But everything has changed.
So in a sense, I can change everything in my past, rewrite it to my liking, and as long as I find a way to believe it, that is so.
Yes, as long as it is relevant for you to do so.
Okay, great.
Remember, it's not just about belief, it's about relevance as well.
All right, and my next question, we all use the word authenticity, or truly who you are, know thyself, in all of these different expressions of who we are, because we have the human understanding and perspective of ourselves.
Yes.
We have a collection of reflected perspectives that we receive from other people, which
Yes.
also kind of influence our self-perspective. What is the fastest way to connect or to identify that core essence of who I am, of who all of us are?
Have you already forgotten the formula?
No, I haven't. I know it very well. Well, so that's the action formula, but in terms of knowing, it's an identity question in a sense, because then if it links all to all overall soul, but then it has, if we go back all the way to the source, it comes down to love, I guess. But then we all have individual mission or
your purpose is to be yourself.
Exactly. So to be yourself,
you act on your passion. Your passion is the frequency of your essential core self. That's the translation in physical terms of who and what you are as a reflection of the infinite. That's how it translates in your physical dimension, as that sensation of passion, love, creativity, excitement. That's the interpretation.
So the labels we put on that is actually whatever labels we choose to identify with, but
yes.
In essence, it's just the vibration, the knowing, the
vibration
inspiration.
Is your essence. Yeah. The state of being is your essence. It's what and who you are. You are an essence. You are a state of being. You are a vibrational reflection of the infinite. And the way that translates in your reality is by that sensation. That's who and what you are.
Wonderful. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Sense. And last question. I have a memory of a few years ago, sort of a dream, but I know it was not a dream. It was happening.
Yes.
I saw beings. They looked silver.
Yes.
And something was, what I perceived was like a snake, also silver. It was placed onto my belly and it entered my body, and I don't remember.
These are symbolic interpretations or translations by your physical mind, attempting to make sense of something happening on a higher dimensional level for which it really has no representation. So it chooses whatever symbols are the closest vibrational representation to something that it has no other way of translating.
So what was it?
Well, it was an interaction with higher level beings, and they were interacting with you, performing certain things with you, helping you adjust your energy in certain ways. But the snake symbol usually represents the concept of tapping into ancient cosmic wisdom.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Bashar.
You are so welcome.
Happy birthday.
And thank you very much.
Just a quick question for frequency reading.
For you now,
please.
At this particular moment, between 148,000 and 156,000 cycles per second. You're fluctuating a bit.
Can we do a quick one from my wife, Alexis, that you spoke to?
About 148,000 cycles per second, relatively stable at the moment.
Who's winning? Do we have any hybrid children together or separately?
One moment. The overall general answer is yes, but I am being told I'm not allowed to be specific.
Thank you. Next question. I've been having, over the last 6 months, I've been having several dreams about ET and contact. Some being very differently. I'm in technology, so it seems that some ET have been trying to persuade me with pushing me in certain directions. The most recent ones, the two recent ones, were seemed to be involved in the secret space program, and where I was in a hangar with a lot of humans, but one gray in particular was kind of leading the show, and I was kind of cornered into a restroom, and the alien was telling the humans to put a cord down my throat.
What fun.
Right. Well, when I woke up, I had like I was in a little bit of a shock, like it was really happening, and throughout
Well, in a
the
sense
day.
it was, although again not exactly as your mind is interpreting it, although there are some references in there that are representative of the essence of the encounter in certain ways, but you have to also remember that this is part of your choice too. They're not pushing you to do things, you're asking to be pushed.
Okay, agreed. And then the last and final thing is that a couple of days ago, it was another ET contact where it seemed as if we were in the future past the where masses were getting contact, and there was a system of somewhat of being picked up by ship in kind of like a bus stop form, where a bunch of us would go to a stop and then wait for the craft to come get us, and then we were exploring the world of their technology, their way of life, how they farm, how they do all this. So was that their way of contacting me to make sure that they're judging me and testing me if I'm ready for?
That's part of it, but they're also giving you an opportunity to see what might become relatively common in about 50 to 70 of your years.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Hello, Bashar.
And you good day.
Somebody is born in a female body and they'd rather be in a male body.
Yes.
And somebody born in a male body, rather be in a female body, or some people identify with both genders and they'd rather be androgynous.
Yes, well, that's because your spirit is anything and everything, and it can express itself in any number of ways. And most of the reasons that happens in your civilization is because you have need of reflections to teach you all that you contain everything, and that you need to become comfortable with that.
Okay, do some people choose to come to this reality to experience that duality?
Yes, because again, they know that your world needs those reflections so it can see itself in a fuller way, in a bigger picture, that you contain all of these things and that you can express yourself in a multitude of ways.
Okay. Thank you. And the second question is, earlier in the day you said that interacting with humans, with us, you benefit in ways that we can't even imagine. Can you tell us more about that?
Well, no, because you can't imagine them. Obviously, we have said that one of the ways is that you certainly give us a deeper understanding of how you have mastered the concepts of limitations and transforming them. The idea, then, is that you are, from our perspective, a master graduating class, and what it is you're learning about how to do in those transformations is very valuable to many civilizations out here, more than you know. Because if you can do it, they can do it. Because there haven't been as many civilizations that we've come across that have explored the idea of darkness and limitation quite to the degree that you have. There are some, and some even darker and more limited. But nevertheless, the fact that you are a master graduating class now, about to really burst forth showing how these transformations can happen no matter how dark or limited it seems, is very, very encouraging knowledge for many civilizations that we tell about you. So that's one way that we all benefit. Plus, again, you're just unique. And we can see through all of you that many more ways that the multidimensional crystal of creation has of expressing itself. And so that expands our understanding of all the ways that creation needs to see itself and experience itself. So there's that too. Plus, we get a lot of laughs out of you. Because it is very humorous to see beings of almost unlimited potential trying to smash themselves down into such a limited box. It's almost like sort of watching a circus.
Well, thank you, and I can imagine all that.
Yeah, you can imagine those. But there are ways in which you are benefiting others that you have not yet imagined. Are you having fun? All right.
Hello, Bashar.
And to you, good day.
Okay, so two things.
Speak up.
Two things. The first one is, can you give us some hints of what to expect in the next few years? Like going
That
on
transmission is coming up.
Ooh.
There are no previews.
Darn, okay. And the other thing is, I would like you to expand on a very profound event that happened to me a couple of months ago.
Define.
Well, I was in a lake on a jet ski, and my cousin accidentally hit me head on really hard. And while it was happening, it was as if time stood still. So she was coming at me very, very fast. And I was very, very scared, like, oh my God, I'm going to die. But then all of a sudden, I had the most profound deja vu experience, as if my higher self was communicating to me that, no.
Not as if, it was.
Okay.
And
it was saying, relax, this is meant to happen. Like, this was supposed to happen.
Yes, you set it up.
Wow. Okay. And
it
so
was
then,
your way of making a big shift because you died.
Oh.
But then you continued. You shifted to a parallel reality where you didn't die. But in the other reality, you did.
Yeah, that makes sense because...
This is not uncommon.
Okay. All right. Because when it was happening, or just, all of a sudden, I had absolutely no fear. And I was so calm. And it was as if my higher self was saying, or it was saying to me, you're going to be just fine. Like, you're going to take a hit, but you're going to be fine.
Yes. And now, after that particular experience, has your view on the idea of death changed at all?
Completely. I have no fear of it whatsoever.
There you go.
Okay.
Now you know why you did it.
Wow.
Because now you can do things that you couldn't do before because you have no fear.
Wow. Okay. Right before it was happening, I was bracing myself, and I'm like, I got this. So she T-boned me. I felt the initial impact, and I saw colors, like geometric shapes of lighter pastel colors.
Yes.
I saw black, and then the next thing I remember, I was in the water.
Yes.
And then I was shocked, but I remembered, you're fine, and I just was breathing, and nothing was wrong with me. I mean, I was bruised and sore, but nothing. And everyone was shocked, like, oh my God, I can't believe you're alive. And
yes, you didn't even really actually have to be bruised and sore. You actually did that for others. So they would have at least some sense that something had happened to you.
Oh.
You couldn't just explain it away as, I'm perfectly fine. Not a mark.
Well, And that's crazy because that's what I was doing. I was like, I'm fine, I got this. And my family was freaking out. And I remember saying, hey, I can't deal with you and align myself at the same time.
Yes.
Like they were just freaking out. And we were going to the hospital. I said, no, we're not. I'm fine. There's nothing wrong with me.
Yes.
And they just couldn't wrap their head around that.
Well, that's all right. They didn't have to.
Right. Okay.
So, congratulations.
Thank you, Bashar. That really meant a lot to me. Thank you.
Well, thank you for being so bold.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Love you.
Unconditionally loving you, too. So much is far more probable when you really understand that death is not the end. It's just another room in the house.
Hello, Bashar.
And to you, good day.
I had a question about crystal skulls and
Crystal skulls.
the role they play in my transformation.
Yes, well, they're obviously a permission slip for you, or you wouldn't bring it up. You understand permission slips, yes?
Yeah.
All right.
Any advice for how to use them moving forward?
Well, what has your imagination already told you?
That I could be a teacher for how to use them, but I need to sit with them more.
Is that a question or a statement?
That was a statement.
All right. Then do so. What's stopping you from doing so?
Nothing. I was just wondering if you had.
Can I ask you a question?
Yes.
That was a question, Bashar. Seeing if you're learning anything. Is there anything stopping you from sitting with them?
No.
What do you imagine might happen if you do sit with them?
I could become something different.
Like what? What do you think you will discover?
How to be myself.
More of yourself.
Yeah.
All right. So will that be fun for you?
Yeah, that would be pretty awesome.
And of course, there could be many unexpected things and surprises, yes?
Yes.
Is that okay?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Mostly.
Mostly? Oh, all right. Well, what prevents you from saying yes?
I had an experience where I went a little mad.
You went a little mad?
Yeah, I had a weekend where I lost it. And
where did you lose it?
In my front yard, actually.
And did you find it again? Or did you find something better?
I found something better.
Oh, all right. And so the madness helped, yes?
Yes.
It unlocked you, yes?
And I guess it's just moving past the fear of madness again.
The fear of madness. But if madness helped you, why would you be afraid of it?
It felt awful.
Oh, all right, but that's just because of your interpretation of it. But it put you in touch with negative definitions that you had. Isn't that a positive thing?
Yes.
Can you be mad in a positive way?
Yes.
What would that feel like? What would that look like?
That would be awesome. Be like a delightful weirdo.
All right. It would be, to use one of your words, genius. You've all said there's a fine line between genius and madness. There really is no difference except for one main factor. The madness that you're referring to is the same state as genius, but not allowing oneself the ability to communicate with all aspects of your consciousness about what's going on. In other words, it's not coherent genius, it's incoherent genius. But genius is coherent. It communicates with all aspects of your being, coordinates, synchronizes, and harmonizes them, and allows you to communicate what you're discovering in the madness to others in a way that they can understand as well. So let your madness be of service so that it will be expressed as genius, and know that it can connect you to all other aspects of your being and thus allow you to function in a more holistic way. And then with that definition and that perspective, you will experience it in a positive way. Yes?
Yes.
Do you think that might be probable for you?
Yeah. Yeah.
And that type of madness might be more fun?
A lot more.
All right. Allow yourself to know that as you play with the crystal skulls, You can decide when to take a break, when you've had enough, when you need to process, when you need to absorb. There's no rush, there's no hurry. Yes?
Yes.
The journey is the destination. The process is the point of life. Yes?
Yes.
Does this help?
Yes.
Will that do?
That'll do. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, Tadeo.
Nania.
So now we have time to pick more names.
Do you?
Don't I?
What time is it?
It's 3.
Therefore, you may pick 3.
Okay, because... Do you get the feeling I've had this conversation with him before?
And for the first time.
That's right. You know, that brings up an interesting idea.
Yes.
The idea that when you have a relationship with someone, and then if you use the past to tell yourself what's going to happen in the future, that creates limitation.
Yes, it does.
So how do you balance between being rational and grounded by paying attention to all the things that you understand from...
You can factor them in as probabilities, but not certainties. And therefore be open to the possibility that something else will happen that will blend with what you need to remember of them in a way that serves you in going forward in the relationship.
I love that. That's so simple.
Yes, it is.
Because in most relationships, you can certainly always allow for a new outcome or a new experience.
Yes, of course.
That's great. So the first name is Masumi Kobayashi. Okay, she's not here? Okay, we'll go to another name. Christina. No, she's here?
She requires a translator.
Oh. Ooh. Christina Shorten.
No translation needed.
You're so funny. We really love that about you. You know that?
Yes.
And Summer Hong. Okay.
Long time no see.
Short time.
Yeah. 日本人の役割、日本人が世界に向けた役割を教えてください。
Can you tell us what purpose are we facing as Japanese to the world? What can we serve?
Did we not already discuss this with you recently?
AI と、日本人が AI と関わることについてもう少し詳しく聞きたいんですが。
Can you tell us a little bit more about what we discussed a few days ago in a private session? I want to know a little bit more about
Your particular culture has the ability to excel in a lot of ways, but in 3 basic areas that can have what you would call the greatest impact on your planet. As we said, number 1, artificial intelligence. Number 2, free energy devices. Number 3, by going into and understanding the nature of the chemical constituents of sunflowers and their seeds, cures and prevention for radiation sickness. So by bringing together people that are interested in exploring these things, excited and passionate about understanding how to move forward in these particular areas, your culture can have great impact upon the world at this time.
Eh, ロサンゼルスとサンフランシスコに今旅で来てるんですけど、日本にいると、日本人は携帯を見て歩いてる人がたくさんいるのに、こちらはそんなにこう見て歩いてる人がいない。でその携帯との関わりがそのウーバーを呼ぶことだったりとか、そういう携帯を通して AI と関わるっていうことと理解していいですか？
So she's asking, so this time in order for her to be here to attend this event, she traveled from Los Angeles and San Francisco, and she noticed a big difference between the cultures here in Japan. People are more paying attention to their cell phones in Japan. Do you think that has something to do with the artificial intelligence that you're talking about?
Yes. It's prepping you to learn to communicate with a higher intelligence through various forms of devices that can be invented.
So can I take this as she noticed that Uber was very convenient here. She doesn't use that in Japan, but here it helps to make her life much easier because the car shows up right away.
Yes.
Do you think can I take it? Understand? それが Sorry, hold on, let me check.
私たちがしたいと思ったことが前よりもずっと叶いやすくなっている、ということは私たちが AI と関わることで私たちができることは、可能性が広がるし、何々をしたいって思うこと自体が私たちの、クリエーションにつながることですか？
So that being said, the artificial intelligence that you're talking about, like using Uber, or that's just an example, but making things, AI is helping our life to make things easier. Is that what you're talking about? Like, is that how we should connect to this AI, the artificial intelligence?
はい、そうです。
ありがとうございます。
Thank you.
どういたしまして。
Hi, Bashar.
And you good day.
Happy birthday.
Thank you.
I feel nervous now.
Oh, all right. How exciting. Yes?
Recently I feel like that if I'm totally in this present moment,
Yes.
that I feel like there are two worlds going on. One world is I'm totally in the present moment. Another world is I'm back into the world of mind, meaning like thinking.
But then you're not in the present.
Yes.
So, what do you prefer?
I prefer to feel more, to be more in the present.
And what stops you?
Thinking.
But what do you think you need to think about? Are you afraid that if you don't think about it a lot, that something bad will happen if you just go by the way you feel?
Yes.
What do you think will happen?
Something crazy.
What's wrong with crazy?
Something something abnormal.
What's wrong with abnormal? You don't want to be normal, you want to be natural. If that's your natural self, what can go wrong? All you're saying is you don't trust the way your life unfolds. So why don't you trust yourself? Why are you having a definition that your passion and being yourself can actually cause something to go wrong? That's not a definition of excitement, as we explained earlier. It's a different definition. So, if you understand that each definition is its own state, then don't choose a definition that is representative of a state you don't prefer, and you won't experience the result of that definition. You'll only experience the result of the definition that you prefer if you stay in that state. Doesn't that make sense?
Yes.
But?
No but.
All right, no buts.
Yeah.
All you have to do is be in touch with what you define and believe to be true and decide whether or not you want to continue to buy into what you've defined and believe to be true. You get to decide, and what you say goes, because you're the one in charge.
Sometimes I feel like I cannot decide.
But you are deciding to have that experience of indecision. So you've made a decision. You see, you can't get away from it. If you feel out of control, you're controlling that. If you feel indecisive, that's what you've decided to do. You're always decisive. You're always in control. You're always confident. You're always trusting. It's about what you're putting your confidence and your trust in and what kind of decisions you're deciding to make. That's the only thing that creates an experience that you're having that makes it seem to be the opposite of what you prefer, when in fact you're using exactly the mechanism to create something that makes it appear like you're not using the mechanism. That's how you trick yourselves into thinking that you can't do it, but you are doing it. That's the whole point, is to realize that you can't get away from being in charge. You can't get away from being in control. There is no one else that has anything to say about your life. You're the one making all the decisions. You're the one choosing all the choices. So take responsibility for it and start making the decisions about the things you prefer to decide on, instead of deciding that you will feel indecisive, since that obviously doesn't work for you, because that is the product of a decision. Is this making some sense? Yes, no, maybe?
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
Are you able to wrap your mind around it, or are you going to think about it for a while? It's all right if you do. We're just giving you the basics, and you can let it sink in at whatever rate you're comfortable with, and you can do it through whatever process you're also comfortable with. It's up to you. I'm just letting you know there's actually no such thing as indecisiveness. There is only a decision to experience what appears to be indecisiveness. Very different thing between the experience of a thing and the actual mechanism involved in creating that experience. If you understand that paradox, then you are at the center and at the point of your power.
I don't understand the last part.
When you see things that appear to be opposite, when you finally realize the paradox, the apparent contradiction, that your feeling of indecisiveness actually comes from having made a decision, you see the two polar opposites. Now you are aware that both of those opposites has to come from the same central source, which is you. So now you get to decide, now that you're back in the balance point, now you get to decide how you prefer to look at that experience. You can realize, I decided to feel indecisive because of my definitions, but I now realize that because I decided to feel indecisive, I'm not indecisive because I decided that.
Hello, Bashar.
And to you, good day.
What is a soul?
Well, it's an energy form, an energy reflection, a consciousness pattern that represents a reflection at a certain level with certain parameters defining it of the infinite, of the one, of all that is.
So how does one soul differentiates from another?
By being different in frequency, in angle of reflection.
So if everything is happening at the same time,
yes,
then do I have other parts of my soul in other realities?
Well, yes, although you wouldn't necessarily say that they are yours, because your soul is specifically focused on the idea of having the higher mind and physical mind that represents this particular personality structure and this particular incarnational experience. The oversoul is what bridges multiple reality experiences, but souls, by definition, are kind of an individualized extension of an oversoul for an individualized experience reflection.
So the oversoul
is like a collection of individual souls. That's one way to look at it.
So the soul that's in me in this incarnation,
it's not in you. You're in it. The soul is bigger than you are as a person. You are an extension of the soul. It's not in you. That's an old-fashioned way of understanding it.
I'm in the soul.
The person is in the soul.
The person is in the soul, which is an extension of
the oversoul.
Is it the oversoul?
An oversoul.
An oversoul. So are all the oversouls, since we're all connected?
Yes.
True. Then are all the oversouls sort of are connected in some kind of entanglement?
Yes. On the level of the oversoul of oversouls. Look at it this way. You have approximately 7 billion people individually on your planet, yes?
Yes.
Those 7 billion individual personality constructs are representative of maybe about 500,000 to 700,000 oversouls. Does that make sense? In other words, each oversoul has multiple soul extensions incarnating on your planet at the same time.
Then we all have connections to each other.
Of course you do, because you're all extensions of the same one thing, just as we are.
But there are more connections of the one thing than others, right? I mean,
there are more expressions of it in certain frameworks than others, yes.
Okay.
Because it serves a purpose to have those kinds of expressions in that framework. It's relevant for what that particular oversoul might need to experience for its own growth.
Well, if everything that's ever existed, always exists.
Yes.
Then when you say that in this incarnation,
yes,
does that mean there are new incarnations for the purpose of expansion so that it adds to whatever already existed?
If you translate the word incarnation as reflected experience, perspective, yes, because that's all anything is. You see, the structure of existence never changes. Your experience of it does. Your perspective of it does. That's what's expanding.
So
yes.
So there's no really deeper meaning other than to experience things in different perspectives for growth
But that
and
is
expansion.
That is the meaning of it, so that all that is can experience itself in all the ways that are possible for it to do so. To know itself. Remember, we said it all comes down to know thyself? Well, that's true for all that is too. And it's knowing itself through all of us and all of you.
So is it that when we follow our highest excitement,
yes,
it's actually listening to our guidance of the oversoul or higher self?
Yes. Because that's its language. That's how the higher mind's language translates in your reality. It's actually speaking with you, and you're translating it into the feeling you call passion. That's just how its language translates in your reality.
Then is it when we have negative emotion, is it because we are
filtering it through negative belief systems? Because it's the same energy, but when you filter it through negative belief systems, you can only experience it in a discordant, out of alignment sensation. But when you let go of those negative belief systems, those negative definitions, then you experience the same energy, the same transmission, the same language through a positive filter, which allows you to experience it in the way that we're talking about, as passion instead of anxiety.
So in other words, would it be correct to say that when we have negative emotions is we're not in alignment with our higher self?
Correct.
Or how?
Correct.
How our higher self sees it?
In a sense, yes. It's guiding you. It's, in a sense, luring you to the vibration of your true essence so that you can be in harmony with it, so that you can have an effortless life. But by creating definitions that take you out of alignment, you experience disharmony.
So, can I ask why there's so much gruesome things that's surfacing in our world now with all the pedophilia?
Because you've got to get it out of your system, because you're at the end of that cycle, and you have to bring it all on the table so you can finally put it in front of your face and say, is this what we prefer to continue to do, yes or no?
That's what I was thinking, this new energy shift, and we have to face the problem before we can purge the problem.
You have to know what it is, and you have to get it all out in front of your face. You can't hide it anymore. You can't deny it anymore. You have to see it for what it is. You have to look at the consequences of the choices you've been making. You need to take responsibility for it, which is not a negative thing, because that gives you the power to change yourself and change the experience you have. But if you hide things from yourself, you have nothing to work with.
And all this stuff, whether we label it negative or positive, is
all part of all
free
that is.
will as a result of, because we have free will.
Yes.
And if we don't know, if we don't try something, then we don't know that it's probably not where we want to be, or kind of.
Sometimes you will experience or choose to experience things that are out of alignment because it makes it clearer what you prefer instead of what you don't.
Well, I'm just trying to reason why the people do all those things that they do.
Because they haven't been taught the tools of self-connection and self-empowerment, and they feel that they are cut off, empty, and alone. That's why we are sharing all these principles of the instruction manual with you, so that you can understand how to plug yourself back in. Not that you're unplugged, but that you have to become aware that you never can be unplugged. But because of the belief systems you have on your planet, many people believe that they are unplugged and have no source of power for themselves. Therefore, they are in fear, and therefore they have a hole, or feel like they have a hole that they can't fill. That's the source of all addiction.
Thank you for that. So what brings to mind about shifting what you said earlier about how we shift our realities to a different earth by our energies.
And you're doing that billions of times a second already. It's about being in the alignment that you prefer to be in so that you are navigating yourself through those billions of shifts in the direction you prefer. Because you can't help but shift. That's what you do. It's what creates the side effect you call time and space and change. So you're already shifting. It's about conscious awareness that you're shifting so that you can be in alignment with the vibration that represents the path of the shifts you prefer to take through those multiple versions of Earth.
So in other words, if I don't want to be in the Earth with all the pedophilia and all the chemtrails and all this stuff, I can just shift to a different reality and not be...
You are shifting. Even though you can still see another reality doesn't mean you're actually still in it. For a while, you'll be able to see realities that are not what you prefer, but it's like there's a glass wall between you now. The split is actually happening physically. So just because you can see it for a while, to give yourself an opportunity to really decide what you prefer and to give others a chance to still see those who are acting as shining examples of changes they could make too, you'll still be able to see each other's realities. That doesn't mean that that reality affects you in any way, shape, or form. But in time, you will no longer be able to experience or see or perceive those realities at all that are not vibrationally compatible with you.
So just don't focus on what I don't want to experience.
In a sense, you can neutrally observe it, but you don't have to get it any kind of an emotional charge as if it had any effect over you.
Yes.
You can learn from it, you can help others learn from it, but it doesn't have to negatively affect you.
Yes, thank you for that. I get that. And then I'm also curious about you, you're coming here to visit us in this time, space, reality. Are you visiting many other places as well?
I am a first contact specialist. I explore and visit many different civilizations and make first contact with them. This is one of the ways that our civilization makes first contact, by sharing information and seeing what you do with it. Because if you don't choose to absorb it into your lives, we know that you're not necessarily ready to be vibrationally compatible with our civilization, and we move on. That's one of the things that gives me passion. I have been trained as a first contact specialist.
So do you, in your life, I think you mentioned that you're alone in your spaceship?
Sometimes.
So okay.
Not always.
So you
Why, do you think I'm lonely?
Well, in my world, I think if I was a first contact specialist in a spaceship all by myself, I would be lonely, yes.
But if you actually thought that you were in the spaceship all by yourself, you wouldn't be a first contact specialist.
Yeah, which brings me to the next thing I wonder, you don't need a spaceship to come here.
No, not really, but it works better for you.
So it's really for our benefit that
for the most part, at this point in our evolution, we maintain the simile of things that you would have some way of relating to, so that contact will be smoother for you. Not that we don't enjoy our spaceships, because they are literal, crystallized representations of our higher minds. So we're just floating around in a crystallized bubble of our own higher minds. So in a sense, the spaceship is actually still us. That's why we're not alone in it.
Lastly, can you tell me if I've been incarnated in other places other than Earth?
Well, not you, but you are connecting to incarnations in other places that help inform you and give you experience and information and energy, yes. But it's not you as a person.
So all of us here that's in our bodies right now, we're in this version, it's never going to come again, right?
No, of course not. As your Zen monks say, you can't step into the same river twice. It's always flowing. It's always changing. Change is one of the laws. It's a constant. Things are never the same. You may think they are, but they're not. That's your illusion of continuity. Does that help?
Yes, thank you, Bashar. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Nania. What?
One more question?
Yes.
Thank you, Bashar. This is Kirby. Hello.
Hello, Kirby. Hello.
These questions come in the context of a screenplay being written by my girlfriend Hillary.
Speak up. Speak up.
Okay. Do peak sunspot eruptions coincide with Sun, Earth, Jupiter, Saturn alignments?
Not always. There are many other mitigating factors and contributing factors as well. Not always.
But they can.
They can.
And does this alignment of the Sun, Earth, Jupiter, Saturn create ripples in time and space?
Yes, of course.
Can you speak more about that impact?
Please understand again that it's not so much about the idea of their influence or control or impact. It's about their reflection of the changes going on in the collective consciousness. They are representing ripples within your consciousness, changes within your consciousness, shifts within your collective and individual consciousnesses. They're not causing it, they're reflections of it. Does that help?
Yes.
Are you sure?
And can you speak more about what we might expect on Earth in July 2020 when this next...
Are you asking for a sneak preview too?
Just a little.
You can expect something unexpected.
Ah. All right. So reflection.
Yes, reflection. And everything in the cosmos is a reflection because physical reality isn't real. It's a reflection.
So we're not necessarily causing the reflection, but we're causing the effects of that alignment reflection.
Well, it is your reflection.
Okay. Beautiful. Thank you.
You are welcome.
So I have some questions from our Ustream listeners.
Start with one.
Okay. How do you be around someone who you don't like or trust?
You don't be around them. That's how you be around them.
Well, I'm assuming people have this maybe like in work situations or something where, you know, does that mean you're supposed to leave your job?
Well, it depends on the individual and what their path really is, because sometimes people will push you away by being a certain way in their personality because you won't move on your own, and so you've made an agreement with them to move you by being as obnoxious as they possibly can be until you finally get the message that you wanted to move all along. It doesn't excuse their behavior, but if you find that there's someone who is prone to behave that way and you really want to force yourself to make a move, you'll attract them so that you will get the reflection that this is what you actually prefer. Unless, of course, it is for the purpose of helping them understand why they may be that way and reflecting to them how they can make changes within themselves that would be of great benefit to them. There are as many purposes to those kinds of exchanges as there are people, and you have to each suss out and discern for yourselves what the reason is why you may be having those kinds of experiences. It can't be given a general overall answer for every single situation in which that could occur.
So that's, of course, one of the amazing challenges on Earth is
Yes.
that you have a situation that shows up and you're
Yes.
like, well, does that mean that I'm supposed to leave my job? Or does that mean I'm supposed to show this other person another model behavior so that
Yes.
they can change? Or is it, you know, it's like, then people can
Yes.
get lost with that. So,
Well, yes, but again, you start from the basic premises. Number one, it doesn't matter what happens. It only matters what you do with it. Number two, honest self-examination as to whether you're overlooking something within yourself that would provide the answer as to why this is happening in the way that it's happening. So starting with those basic premises will give you the discernment to be able to tell what action needs to be taken in the direction of your highest passion that is being given to you or being offered to you by the situation as it unfolds.
I felt like when you were saying that the thing to do is to tune into your passion. If you're passionate about what you're doing and you can bring yourself into that state,
yes,
look at the situation from that state.
Yes.
And when you do that, you'll have honest self-examination.
Yes.
About what aspects is this
Yes.
person reflecting to me? Are they reflecting to me fears I have about my own self-worth? Is that something I need to focus on?
Yes. It's
However-
always wise to first make sure it isn't advice you need to take.
But come at it from a balanced place instead of the imbalanced place, which is I'm not worthy and oh no, here's
Yes.
another person reflecting to me that I'm not worthy.
Exactly. And this is why the idea of acting on your passion is the first thing in the instruction manual. It drives everything else.
And it's a state of being that you can trust. When it's a balanced connection to your passion, you're in contact with your higher mind. And
It's not the idea that it's a state of being you can trust. It's the idea that it is the very essence of trusting what you prefer.
It gives you, when you feel that passion, it gives you the opportunity
To experience what it feels like, to trust what you prefer instead of trusting what you don't prefer. Because you're always trusting.
And then over time, you become more and more confident in the process of following your passion, understanding that's a language you're having with your higher mind or with your greater spirit or whatever. And
yes, you become confident in the things you prefer to be confident about. Yes.
And then over time, you even get so used to that state that you know how to switch into that state almost instantaneously.
Yes, of course.
Because you're used to doing it.
Yes.
And then it becomes easier to get into that state and to perceive situations and evaluate your own culpability, the other person's culpability, if that's the word. And basically...
Well, responsibility.
Okay, and just to understand that not everyone's going to have great chemistry too, right?
Of course, because it may not serve a purpose for you to do so.
Yeah, like hating on somebody probably isn't going to help you, right?
Probably not.
So that would be the thing you would want to look at then if you're saying something like, well, what am I doing around someone who I don't
again,
like or trust?
please do remember that usually when you lash out at someone, it's basically a representation of what you actually feel about yourself but don't want to look at. So you have to find a scapegoat. Remember that people that are in denial about being in denial too. So they don't understand that it's actually something that they're feeling about themselves because they're in denial that it exists within themselves. They don't know why they feel what they do, so they have to blame someone else for the feeling because it can't possibly be coming from them about themselves.
So that's the part where it puts you in touch with your own personal issues of not feeling worthy.
Yes.
However, you also want to have the strength and the confidence to understand that if somebody else is doing something that's negative towards you, that you don't just crumble up and, oh gosh, I've got all these things wrong with me, so I guess, you know.
You're not accepting the offer of negativity from them. It's just an offer.
Right.
You don't have to accept it.
Right. And so when the more you feel that confidence in yourself, you can accept criticism in a sense.
Of course.
Without it blowing up into some big emotional drama, basically.
Of course. Because at that point, it doesn't really matter what anyone else's agenda might be. You have your own agenda and you are confident in it.
That's right. Stay
about
in
who you are.
Stay in your passion.
Yes.
And one person asked, can you translate your birth data into Earth terms so we can do an astrology chart for you?
Well, you already know that the translation is the date that exists right now.
11/11.
Yes.
And is there a time and location?
Essathani? How does that fit into your chart? If you believe that you have the ability to measure a 500 light year distance in the direction of the Orion constellation in a parallel reality, by all means go ahead.
Well, it was an interesting question for sure.
Yes.